Oscar Wilde, the picture of Dorian Gray. Let's get started. Chapter 10. Baka baka. Alright, so once the basilisk gone, Dorian actually ordered his servant, Victor, to go to a nearby frame maker and bring him 2 men. Then he asked his housekeeper, Mrs. Leaf, who he asked for the key to his old study room, which is like, he never used it for nearly 5 years. And then Dorian covers the portrait with an ornate satin coverlet, reflecting the sins that he has actually committed, and that will mar its beauty, just as worn mar the body of a corpse. Then the men from the framer makers arrive, and Dorian actually employs them to carry the painting to the schoolroom. Carry this painting to the schoolroom. Here, Dorian muses, the painting will be safe from prying eyes. This place is gonna be good. And if no one actually sees his deterioration, then it bears no importance. After locking the room, he actually returns to his study room and settles down to read a book that Lord Henry has sent him. I wonder what he's going to do this time. I wonder what he's going to influence me to do now. And this time, he actually gets a book that is the color yellow on it, and this is actually pretty important too. And what's past, so a lot of things have happened since then, and this yellow book is accompanied by a newspaper account about Sybil's death, and horrified by the ugliness of the report, this is so ugly! Dorian turns to the book, which traces the life of a young Parisian who actually devotes his whole life to all the passions and modes and thoughts that belong to every century except his own. And after reading a few pages, Dorian becomes entranced. He finds the book to be a poisonous book, but in this case, in a good way, one that confuses the boundaries between the vice and the virtue. When Dorian meets Lord Henry for dinner later that evening, he pronounces the work fascinating. Yeah, right. The yellow book is actually a symbol, and it represents one of the things that influenced Dorian Gray, and what turns him into a more bad person, meaning that he'll use this as a way to actually do so many things and so many more, that there's so much that could have ever happened here. And all I can say right now is that Dorian Gray does do a lot of good things, and by now there are some things that might have happened to him, and all I can say is that it's kind of a great declaration of time. Sure, I mean, it's kind of great too, and all I can say right now is that we're halfway through the book, and we're just unraveling the mysteries right now. So I hope you'll join me next time to talk about the analysis of the preface to Chapter 10, and then we'll be joining in Chapter 11 summary. Hope to see you guys then. Schnan out. Peace.